ביאור משנה ב', explanation for the second Mishnah. כפי שהזכרנו, like we mentioned before, מצווה להביא בשלושת הרגלים שני קורבנות. So we have two sacrifices that you have to bring in the שלוש רגלים. עולת ראייה, the sacrifice of seeing, now you came to see the king, bring a present, הנקרא במשנתנו ראייה סתם. Our Mishnah calls it ראייה, קורבן ראייה. ושלמי חגיגה. Now every holiday you're supposed to eat meat. You don't eat the ראייה. The ראייה all goes to, it's a present to God. The meat you're supposed to eat now. So now you have to bring another sacrifice for you to eat. This is called peace offerings of חגיגה. הנקראים במשנתנו חגיגה. This is called חגיגה. So when it says ראייה, it's talking about the one that goes, the meat that goes to God. It says חגיגה, it means the meat that I'm going to eat. שני הקורבנות הללו אין להם שיעור. So it says, what kind of how much you have to bring a bull, you have to bring 5 bulls. What's the measurement? How much do you have to eat? In other words, what do you have to give to God and what do you have to give to yourself? Do you have to give to God a bull, a sheep, a goat, a chicken? What do you have to give to him? Yeah. And to you, it's also for you. What can you eat? Can you eat a bull? Do you have to eat a sheep? Do you have to eat a goat? Is maybe a sheep enough? You don't need to bring a bull. Yeah? Well, what do you have to bring? So it says, En lahem shiur. And also a bull, there's many bulls. There's a bull that costs $500 and there's the bull that costs $50,000. What kind of bull do you have to give to God? So what's the measurement? Is it a minimum? In other words, where's the minimum? I want to know where's the minimum in what do I need to give to God and where's the minimum on what I have to eat. Okay? So they say, En lahem shiur. So you should know there's no minimum. There is no minimum of what kind of bull you should give. Shene'emar, because it says, Ish kematnat yado. It says, a person can give whatever his hand gives a present. How? Kebirkat Hashem Elokecha Asher natan lacha. So in other words, if you're a millionaire, you come to Beit HaMikdash. That's right, you're going to give a $50,000 bull. If you're a regular guy, you're going to give a $500 bull. Yeah, simple. As whatever God gave you, that's what you're supposed to give them. Ella. So from the Torah, it is as much as God blessed you. The Torah doesn't give a measurement. But whatever you think God blessed you, this is what you give. Up to you. The Torah leaves it up to you. Comes the Rabbanim, comes the sages. Ella shechachamim natnu bahem shiur lemata. Chachamim says, you can't tell people, give whatever you want. It doesn't work this way. They will ask you, I made 10,000. How much should I give? Yeah. I want to know, what does it mean, kematnat yadcha? I made 100,000. How much should I give? 10% of what I made, 2% of what I made.
Why can't it be? Each one is hard ones to give to Hashem. It's also in a way.
Yeah, but the people are not happy with it. You know, the people themselves think about it. You come to the Harabait, says, I want to do the mitzvah the right way. What's the right way? I don't want to give 80% of my salary, my yearly salary to God. That's a little bit too much. And and maybe I agree with you that $5 is too little. I need. What should I do? I mean, because when you say no limit, I feel obligated now. Maybe I should give 99% of what I made this year. I should spend it on God. What, God is going to complain to me? Hey, you think you're more important than me? You keep more than 50% to you, and you're going to give me 50%? I want to know. What's a normal thing to do? People need some instructions. So the sages gave instruction. Yeah. The Chachamim says, I'll give you a minimum. You guys want a minimum? I'll give you a minimum. שיעור מינימלי. בעניין שיעור זה, חולקים משנתנו בית שמאי ובית הלל. How much is the minimum? That's we're going to see a difference between Shammai and Hillel. Shammai say one thing and Hillel says another thing. בית שמאי אומרים, בית שמאי say, הראייה שתי כסף. Says, you want to bring korban ראייה? It has to have the value of at least 2 silvers. Whatever 2 silvers is. Ask זהו, he can tell you how much the silver today is in the market. עולת הראייה צריך שיהיה שווה לפחות 2 כסף. שתי מעות כסף. המאה היא 60 הדינר. And a me'ah is 1/6 of a dinar. A dinar has the weight, so I don't know exactly in weight. You can actually measure this. Exactly, I can tell you exactly how much silver it's worth today. But it was whatever the amount is. והחגיגה 100 כסף. קורבן השלמים שמביאים ברגל כדי לקיים מצוות חגיגה, and the peace offering you bring in the רגל, צריכה שיהיה לפחות 100 It has to be at least one value. In other words, what you give, according to Beit Shammai, what you give to God has to be double than what you take for yourself. That's appropriate. You want to ask, it says, you usually, for the holiday, how much do you spend? Like your people in your group, how much do they spend? They spend $200 for Pesach Seder, let's say, or $2,000 for Pesach Seder. So the sacrifice you give God should be $4,000. If you spend for yourself $2,000, give $4,000 to God. That's the idea. Yeah, that's the minimum. And if you're very, very poor, the minimum amount you would spend, they would measure it. What does the minimum, a very person, minimum amount that he would spend on himself is this? So twice as much as that for God. And this is 2 silvers. 2 silvers for God, 1 silver for you. Okay? That's the Shammai. ובית אומרים הראייה 100 כסף וחגיגה 2 כסף. בית Hillel is exactly the opposite. You give God half of what you take to yourself. Half of what you get to yourself.
I don't think Beit Hillel is
שכן, because שלמי חגיגה, because I'll tell you why. Because for חגיגה, it's not only you. It's you, God, and the Kohen. You're paying for 3 people. In other words, you're already giving God in Chagigah. And you're already giving the Kohen in Chagigah. And you're taking to yourself just a little bit, less than. So, because God and the Kohen are also getting, they're already getting it. שכן שלמי חגיגה, because in the peace offerings that you're going to eat, יש בהם לגבוה, some of it goes to God, gets burnt on the altar, ולכהנים, some of it comes to the Kohanim, ולעם, and somebody comes to the people who are going to eat with you. You're not going to celebrate by yourself. You're going to give to your friend, you're going to give to this guy. They're also going to eat. So because of that, it's like this.
I know that you always have to give the best to Hashem.
It is the best. That's what he says. That's what he says. You're giving the best. And especially if
you give yourself the best, the $200. And Hashem, you give him $100.
No, from the $200, God gets the best already. God gets the best part of the $200, first of all. He gets the fats. He gets from your $200, God already got the best part. The Kohen also got the best part. And the people around you also get. That's the logic. Yeah, that's what he says. ולפיכך הם מרובין מן העולה. And therefore, it's more than the burnt offering, than the ראייה, שאין בה אלא לגבוה. That in the ראייה, only God takes. Over here, God is already included in the things. אבל בית שמאי סוברים להפך, but the house of Shammai hold exactly the opposite. שהואיל והעולה היא כולה לגבוה, they say what you say. Since the עולה is all of it to God, צריך שיהיה שוויה מרובה מחגיגה. It says, what is it? It's not respected. What are you think God is going to get a less of a present than what you're getting? That's not appropriate. You should give a king much more, a nicer present. A king gets the best quality. You get the second best quality. That's called בית שמאי. ועיין טעמי המחלוקת בגמרא. And the reasoning for their discussion of why this way or why that way can be found in the Gemara. Again, we're not going to be discussing it over here.
Who's right?
I don't think you need to say it. Halacha is like Beit Shammai, like Beit Hillel. Like we know, in most cases, halacha is like Beit Hillel.
Or no?
No.
You get the 200 and you get the 100?
That's what it looks like. If I will have to pass in here, I didn't do the Gemara yet. Yeah, but if just from here, from plain logic, when Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel have an argument, the halacha is like Beit Hillel, usually. Except places that it says it's not.
It's Beit Hillel.
Yeah.
You give less than Hashem give.
Beit Hillel says, you say, don't say it's less. Hashem is included in yours also. Don't call it less. Think about it like this. If you want to think about the logic of Beit Hillel, I can tell you the logic. The logic of Beit Hillel goes like this. A lot of people think that, for example, when God tells you to give charity, to give 10%. So what does it mean? That the 10% that you give, the 10% becomes holy. That's the part that you give to God. The 90% is not holy. It's for you to use. It's for you to use. Beit Hillel says, no, you got it wrong. After you give 10% to God, your 90%, when you use it, also becomes holy. That's what the argument is. In other words, when you eat now, you're eating a sacrifice. You're not eating for your zeo. The 90% now itself is a sacrifice. When you gave the 10%, you made the whole animal you made holy. Beit Shammai says no. It's only what you give to God is holy. So actually Beit Hillel is saying that the entire being is part of the mitzvah. And Beit Shammai says no, only the part that goes to God is the mitzvah. Your part is for you.
I have a tendency to go with Beit Shammai. I don't know why, but...
We're not learning the halacha over here, the reason why, but just understand the logic. The logic is like this.